welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be making 5 easy high protein dinners for the week. Today is Monday, so I'm going to be making a classic steak and potatoes with some asparagus. I already have my water boiling for my potatoes, so let's start to cut them up. I already got them nice and peeled, so I'm just going to chop them up so that they can boil easier and faster. Now that my water is boiling, I'm just going to go ahead and throw my potatoes in. I'm preheating my oven to 400 because I'm going to cook the bacon here because I'm making a loaded mashed potatoes. I'm setting a 20-minute timer for the bacon to cook in the oven. While the bacon is cooking, I'm going to chop up 2 onions for the potatoes as well. We're going to go ahead and cook these onions. I'm going to check on the potatoes as well to see if they're quite tender. Seems like they are. Nice and tender. I'm going to throw everything in my handy dandy KitchenAid mixer for the mashed potatoes. Throw in 1 stick of butter. We're going to add about 4 ounces or 2 ounces of cream cheese. And then half a cup of sour cream. I'm going to use my whisk attachment and then whisk it all together. Salt, pepper. Now we are going to add in our onions that we cooked earlier, just straight into the mixer. I'm going to chop up my bacon now. Add your bacon into your mixer as well. I'm going to grate some cheese to go in the potatoes. And now your potatoes are ready to be baked. I'm going to bake them in a 9x13 little dish and bake them for about 25 minutes in the oven at 350. Now it is time to cook the steaks. I'm going to be cooking them on my lovely cast iron here. Now these are sirloin steaks that I got from Seven Sons Farm online. Ooh, look how good they look. They look so yummy. I'm just going to season both sides with a little bit of salt and pepper. Okay, the steak has been resting for about 5 minutes or 7 minutes now, so I'm going to cut into it to see what it looks like. I'm scared. not bad. Looks medium rare, maybe. Might be a little too rare, but nice medium rare. I'm gonna add my sauce on top. And here is how tonight's dinner turned out. We've got our sirloin, loaded mashed potatoes on the bottom, our steak sauce, and then our roasted asparagus. It is now Wednesday. My boyfriend and I had leftovers for dinner last night, so the steak and mashed potatoes. And today I'm going to be cooking some buffalo chicken dip just to have to snack on throughout the week. And then for dinner, I'm making a coconut curry salmon over rice. Started on the chicken. I'm just going to start it by cooking it in my Instapot. Chicken I'll be using, I get it from Sprout. I'm going to be putting a whole bunch of spices in there. I'm not really measuring, just guessing. Pressure cook for 10 minutes. The chicken is cooking in the Instapot. I'm going to add my cream cheese, sour cream, and sharp cheddar cheese to this bowl right now. Add this whole block, so 8 ounces of cream cheese. Cup of sour cream. Cheese straight to this bowl. The chicken is done cooking in the pressure cooker, so now I'm going to release the steam. To your bowl, add just a little bit of juices that the chicken was cooking in, just to make it not so dry. Sauce, I just got this from Sprouts, Hank's Heat hot sauce. I've never tried it before, but I'm gonna put it in there. Doing a half cup of hot sauce. Just dropped the hot sauce all over and it got everywhere. Hot sauce is all cleaned up. We are going to need a 9x13 dish to put the buffalo chicken dip in so that we can cook it in the oven at 350 for 15 to 20 minutes. I'm adding some more cheese to the top of it and then it's ready to bake. About 20 minutes. Here is the buffalo chicken dip. Look how yummy. I just chopped up some green onions to throw on top of there as well. It is. They're so yummy. And I just love how it's just so easy and quick to make. It's literally like the best little snack for lunch. The chicken dip is done. We're going to move on to tonight's dinner, the coconut curry salmon over rice. Jasmine rice here, and I'm just going to do 2 cups of rice. And I'm going to be cooking it in my Instapot again. Rice a nice rinse under the water. Extra protein in this meal, I would suggest cooking the rice in some bone broth. So I've got some homemade marrow bone broth that I made the other day, so I'm gonna add about 1.5 cups into the rice so that it can cook. Rice, and we're gonna cook it for 3 minutes. Chop up some bell peppers for the curry sauce. Pepper sliced. I'm going to go ahead and throw in some olive oil. 2 tablespoons of Thai red curry paste. For 1 to 2 minutes, we're going to throw in a whole can of coconut milk. 2 cups of homemade bone broth. Adding in 1 tablespoon of fish sauce and 1 tablespoon of brown sugar. My sliced bell pepper that I cut earlier. The rice turned out, you guys. If you're wondering what these black things are, it's just peppercorns from when I made this broth from the other day. Curry broth is going. Let's cook our salmon. I've got these 2 wild caught sockeye salmons that I'm going to cook. I got them once again from Seven Sons Farm online. I just really love their products because they guarantee like no GMOs, no vaccines and stuff like that in their meat. And they partner with like fisheries and stuff, so that's where I got them. I actually did like a little blackened seasoning for these, and I'm gonna place them skin side down. I think this is hot enough. Out. Now the skin did fall off, but that's okay. I'm just gonna chop it up and add it to the top of the curry. Tonight's high protein dinner turned out. This coconut curry salmon, I added the crispy skin on top that fell off in the pan, cilantro, the broth, and then the rice. Hey guys, it is now Thursday, and for tonight's high protein dinner, I will be making steak and chicken fajitas with homemade flour tortillas. I'm first going to make a steak and chicken fajita marinade, so let's get into that first. I am doing 1 teaspoon of cumin, 1 teaspoon of chili powder. I have this much paprika left, so I'm just going to dump this whole thing in there. A teaspoon of oregano, some salt and pepper. 1 tablespoon of soy sauce and 1 tablespoon of brown sugar. I'm going to add in some red pepper flakes as well. And then I'm juicing 3 of these limes because they are pretty tiny. And last but not least, I'm going to add in just a little bit of olive oil. I'm going to give everything a good mix, and then I'm going to cut my meat and throw it in here to marinate. I'm once again using sirloin steaks from Seven Sons Farm. I'm going to just pat these dry. Now I'm gonna throw my steak into the marinade. I'm gonna cut my chicken. My chicken to the same bowl. And I'm gonna give everything a nice stir. We're gonna put a lid on it and throw it right into the fridge. While the chicken and steak are marinating, we're going to cut up our peppers. All my peppers cut, and now I'm going to chop up some onions as well to go with it. The onions to the pan. Now for the seasoning for the peppers and onions, I'm basically just going to do the same marinade that I did for the steak and chicken. I'm not really going to measure anything, I'm just going to guess. I'm going to add some olive oil and then mix everything together. I'm going to put this in the oven for about 20 to 25 minutes at 425. I'm going to go ahead and cook my steak and chicken on my cast iron. Cook my chicken first since it takes longer than the steak right now. That the chicken and steak are all cooked, let's work on our flour tortillas. I measured out 180 grams of all-purpose flour. I'm going to throw this right into my mixing bowl. I'm measuring out 4 grams of salt and then 2 grams of baking powder. Add in 1 cup of hot water, and then I'm going to measure out 37 grams of olive oil. Go ahead and add that to your bowl. And we're going to whisk that all together. Them all rolled out into balls, and now I'm going to cover them and let them rest for about 15 minutes. I also took out the peppers and onions not too long ago. Look how yummy they look. The tortillas are all done resting, so now I'm going to roll them out and then cook them on the pan. Come on. I've got my pan going, and I'm just going to throw the tortilla straight on there. I had some leftover queso from a Mexican restaurant my boyfriend and I went to the other day, so I'm going to pour this right over top of the fajitas. And here is tonight's high protein dinner. We've got our chicken fajitas A little bit of queso, cilantro, and I topped it off with some hot sauce. Cheers! Hello everybody, it is now Saturday. My boyfriend and I ate leftovers for dinner, the chicken and steak fajitas. So tonight for our high protein dinner, I will be making chicken bacon ranch pizzas. And yes, I'm going to be making the dough from scratch, so let's start on that first. You want 1 packet of active dry yeast. You want 354 grams of water. I'm going to warm this up on the stovetop. My water is now warm. I'm going to go ahead and add my packet in. Give it a good stir. While our yeast is activating, we can start on getting our flour, sugar, and salt together. We need 510 grams of bread flour. This is going to make 2 pizzas, by the way. Throw that right into your mixing bowl. Now we need 13 grams of sugar. We need 12 grams of salt. Go ahead and add the salt and sugar into your mixing bowl. Now we are just going to whisk all of the dry ingredients together. Our yeast has activated, so I'm going to go ahead and add this. And now I'm going to measure out 39 grams of olive oil. Add in your olive oil. And we are just going to mix this and knead it for about 5 to 7 minutes. Dough is done mixing, and I'm just going to take it out and put it on the surface and then oil this bowl and throw the dough right back in there. I'm going to take some plastic wrap and cover it, and then we're going to let it rest. I'm going to let that dough rest for about 60 to 90 minutes. While that is resting, I'm going to shred some cheese, cook the bacon, and do all. I shredded up some mozzarella and pepper jack cheese, and I've got my bacon going over here right now. Okay, the dough is done resting. It has been about an hour. That's how it looks. It is pretty much doubled in size. I'm going to measure out the dough and then divide it into 2 equal dough balls. I'm going to transfer it to my baking sheet the best I can. There's some olive oil. I'm going to put down my ranch, got it from Sprout. I'm going to go ahead and put my cheese on. I'm going to put my chicken. And finally my bacon. Here's what it looks like pre-going in the oven. I'm going to bake it for about 15 minutes. Here's how it turned out, you guys. I'm gonna put a little bit more ranch on the top. let's cut into it. Enjoy!